Hi, it's Marina the Soul Alchemist. It's time to pick your own card weekly guidance for the 7th through to the 13th of October. So, if you've not had a chance to pick a card, I want you to tune into cards 1, 2, or 3, and I'm going to reveal the messages, themes, and energies supporting over the next 7 days. And I'm using the AKASHIC Oracle card deck, which is a modality in a box. Comes with a masterclass and a key, which you can turn into a pendulum that supports you with activating karmic healing whilst connected to the records. And just to let you know that the Akashic Oracle card certification, which supports this deck of cards and takes you on a much deeper journey to really understand the potency and the power and the magic of the cards, starts on 10/10 on the 10/10 portal, which is an amazing portal in itself. Exciting times because that's all about new beginnings. So it's a perfect day to actually start the certification. So if you want any more details around that particular offering, check the link in the comments below, check the link in the description, or reach out to me and I can share more with you. So the bonus card this week is all about soul alignment. And this is going to be, I'd say, your main anchor to keep coming back to as you move through these cards. Each of these cards have the same theme, but then there is differences of that theme in terms of how this theme may show up for you this week. So we have got the 10/10 portal, which is a really beautiful time energetically in the week, because we are in eclipse season, and eclipses are all about shining the light on the things that need to be released, the things that need to be changed, the things that need to be addressed. So eclipses can feel quite heavy, and you might find that there's all sorts of bits and pieces that you thought maybe you dealt with that start to resurface, or there's things from the past that you'd not even considered, and you start to kind of maybe think about those things. There's maybe memories that are coming up, emotions that are coming up that you'd not even considered needed to be addressed. Excuse me, still purging after my cacao ceremonial training. So there's an interesting common thread between all of these three cards. So let me know in the comments if you spot what that common thread is. I will reveal what that is by the end of the card reveal, but I'm just curious to see if you actually notice it with each of the cards as well. Not the bonus card, but the 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so the common thread for me, as in the theme, is resistance. It is our shadows. It is looking at the things that maybe we have not wanted to look at. But if we do, we really step into the soul alignment card. And we were able to really enjoy and experience that in its fullest form. So I'm going to invite you, depending on what card you pick, and if you pick all three cards, then you've got maybe some 3 elements that can be looked at. But whatever it is, the main theme of this is looking at your resistance, looking at the things that you are putting off, the things that you are not addressing. And the reason that these cards have come up, not to kind of give us a kind of a week where it's a bit of a downer, these have come up because we are ready to look at the things. This is an acknowledgement that we've got everything we need in our toolbox or with people around us to actually move through this stuff, move through the resistance, move through the obstruction, move through the challenge. Some of that's going to be in your mind. Some of it might be with relationships, friendships, connections. Some of it is going to be past that is ready to be released. Some of it is behavior. But you are here for it. This is a celebration that you absolutely can smash through this week and get to the soul alignment card. So I want you to embrace this week in all its glory. Whilst we're in eclipse season, it's the perfect time to be kind of moving through these bits and pieces. so that you come out the other side, again, with this soul alignment card, which is just beautiful. Okay, so if you pick card 1 as your main card, and don't forget there is a common thread that is presenting itself physically in the card. So self-sabotage, this was my main card. So self-sabotage, where are you sabotaging yourself? Because there's maybe fear about the up level, fear about the change, fear about maybe what will happen if you experience your dreams and desires coming true. How are you self-sabotaging? There's lots of ways we self-sabotage, and this is really kind of understanding how you do it individually. There will be a common pattern of self-sabotage, but sometimes our ego can change it up a little bit and have that self-sabotage pattern come through in a different way. But typical self-sabotage patterns are procrastination, lack of focus, distraction, Chinese object syndrome, tiredness, illness, electronic breakdown, unexpected kind of money outlay, depending on what it is that the self-sabotage is relating to. So, for instance, if you wanted to extend your training in some way and then all of a sudden you don't have the money to be able to do that because something else breaks down. Family drama, where your attention and your time gets taken away to something else. And just know that we are the creator of that self-sabotage, even though some of it might seem external, it's a reflection of the internal. So self-sabotage, how are you self-sabotaging this week? All you need to do for this week is just be really aware of when you are going into resistance, how that feels, and what do you start telling yourself, and that could be negative narratives or stories or excuses. Or it could be that, you just start to zone out. You start to put things off. You start to find other things that just suddenly feel more important to do. That's self-sabotage right there. So just notice when you're doing it and just acknowledge it and say, self-sabotage is coming up, or I'm feeling self-sabotage. How can I move through that? I acknowledge it. I recognize it. I celebrate it. But I'm going to move through it. So then continue to take the small step on the change, on the thing that you want to actually break through with, that you want to move through. Just break it down into an even smaller step. So overwhelm isn't the self-sabotage pattern, because that's another self-sabotage pattern. And this is about self-awareness, self-soulful awareness. And this requires you to have that consciousness, because otherwise you're always going to have self-sabotage run the show, and you're not going to get to that fulfillment, or it's going to take you much longer to get there, So that's card 1, self-sabotage. Just have the self-awareness of your self-sabotage patterns, celebrate it and move through it. This is coming up because we're moving into big stuff. We've got the 1010 portal. So we've got really beautiful new chapters and beginnings that can happen on the 1010 portal and beyond that. So we really want to be mindful of that self-sabotage, move through it, work with it, but don't allow it to stop us. Don't allow it to, we're not at the mercy of our self-sabotage. It's like, okay, no, it's part of the human condition. We know that, but we're going to work with it and we're going to move through it. So that's my invitation to you with regards to self-sabotage, if you pick card 1. And I would encourage you to listen to all of these cards anyway, because you're going to get different flavors of this one theme around resistance, challenge, upheaval, obstruction. It sounds heavy. It's not. It's come up because you are ready to move through this. Okay, so if you've picked card 2 as your main card, it's unconscious projections. And I'm just going to ask here, if you've looked at card 1, are you starting to notice a theme yet, a common thread between the first 2 cards? You may not yet until the 3rd card. It's fine. Unconscious projections. So we've had self-sabotage as our card 1. So the resistance now here, the challenge and the obstruction, is dealing with unconscious projections. So I would say in the main, it's going to be probably people projecting onto you their beliefs, their opinions. It also can be the fear of not moving forward or not making changes within our relationships, within our business, our family, our work, or whatever it might be, because we do fear the projection that may come from somebody. And it's unconscious because they don't necessarily realize that they're doing it, but we have an expectation that it's going to come, rather than have to deal with the disgruntledness or the opinions, or the kind of like lack of support, lack of acknowledgement, a lack of encouragement. It's kind of like, okay, well, I'm just not going to do that because I don't want to deal with the unconscious projection. Unconscious projections also, I would be mindful of keeping your energy clear this week, because there's projections that come from the collective. And we know that there's a lot of collective projection that holds the energy of fear. A lot of it is fear, but there can be a lot of anger. They've got the energies of conflict mixed in there. Separation, all of these types of energies can be all in the collective projections that we are, generally kind of walking through all of the time, because they're in the quantum field. So just be mindful of your energy, and just make sure that you've got a regular daily cleansing practice of your energy field, of your aura, just so you're keeping it nice and pristine. So that isn't a thing that you need to be concerned about. The last thing that I would say about this is that we can also be the projector. So just be mindful that you are not projecting unconsciously, and you'd have to make it conscious to be aware of it, where, you are passing remark, you're passing opinion. Maybe it's not been asked for, but you're doing that anyway. And so that projection then does have an emotional and energetic impact on the person that receives it. And that could be making them feel awkward, making them feel small. Just think about the things when people project on us. Obviously, it's we can do the same to other people as well. So just have some consciousness about the kind of conversations and where we've got an opportunity to be more encouraging, more open, perhaps, to other people's perspectives, other people's choices, and other people's decisions. But I would say generally in the main, this is about just being mindful of people projecting on you, and not allowing an anticipation or an expectation that there will be a particular projection, and then it stops you from doing something. It stops you from moving through whatever you need to move through, or take those actions on, or make those decisions in order to experience a better experience, to make those changes. So don't allow the concept or perspective or expectation of other people's projections to stop you from moving forward. Okay, so let me know how these cards are resonating. If you want to have your own one-to-one session, or you want to get your own deck of cards, let me know. The one-to-one sessions that I do are the empowerment oracle sessions. I do a single session, or I do a package of 4. Virtually everybody that I work with is on the package of 4, because I can hold them in a beautiful space for 12 months. And there's AKASHIC healing that also comes with these particular readings and sessions. So it's a 3-month forecast, but it includes healing as well. So let me know if you want to know anything more about those. Okay, so if you've moved on to card 3, if you picked card 3 as your main card, perfect. Please do go back and listen to cards 1 and 2, because that's just going to give you additional flavour on the themes that we are looking at this week, which is about resistance, challenge, and obstruction. Please don't feel that it's a heavy week. It's not. These cards have come up because it's a celebration of your power to move through and to move to this next level. 10-10 portal on Thursday. That's all about new beginnings. So this is the 3rd card. Can you spot the common thread with these 3 cards, with this 3rd card? And it's trauma and wounding. Trauma and wounding. So what you're going to possibly find, if you pick card 3 as your main card, that there is some unresolved trauma and wounding that comes up this week. And it's coming up this week because, again, it's something that just needs to be addressed, healed, acknowledged. Maybe there's an element of forgiveness that's needed there. Working with the violet flame of Saint Germain, working with Archangel Raphael, whatever beings of light that you like to work with, or how you like to activate your healing, or it might be Reiki, it might be Rihanna healing, it might be pendulum. Just notice if there's anything that is unresolved popping up this week. So how do we know if there's anything unresolved that's popping up? And usually it comes through triggers. So if we're feeling triggered emotionally, mentally, or physically, and when I say physically, that could be like a pain or an ache, or sudden illness that pops up, or something that comes back, like for me, I'm kind of battling with cystitis at the moment, and that keeps coming up, and it's connected to trauma and wounding. So it might be something along those lines. But it can be an emotional trigger as well. So it might be that, again, somebody just makes a passing mark, or you see something on the TV, or whatever it might be, you read something, and there's an emotional response. And there may be a sense of sadness, there may be guilt, there may be a sense of shame that comes up. And that is telling you that there's something there that you can just acknowledge and release. It doesn't have to be this all big singing and dancing kind of healing. Of course, there might be something that is bigger there, and it may need a qualified practitioner to look at that, or a counselor, that type of thing. So I would totally recommend, if there's something out of the blue that just kind of crops up and it's like, oh my God, how do I handle or deal with this, or where do I start? Don't do it on your own. I would always encourage you to get support. And if you're not sure, reach out to me, and I'm sure I'll probably know somebody that could help you. I mean, I know a lot of people. So trauma and wounding. So just be mindful if there are things that pop up. Again, it could be negative opinions and judgments that are coming up. Just see if there's a connection there, or there's a cord, or a thread of some kind that is taking you to something that can be acknowledged and healed. So they're the 3 cards. As I say, when you look at these all together, it's thinking, oh my God, what kind of week have we got going on here? It's all perfect. We're totally available for this. This is why this has come up. Can you notice, now you've got all of these 3 cards together, she says, what the common thread is? Can you see? There's two common threads, actually, for me. The main one is that the face can't be seen in any of the cards. So there's this overwhelming theme around wanting to hide away, not wanting to face the thing that is actually going to be the thing that takes us to the next level, or has the breakthrough, or brings the change. So there's definitely a theme around not wanting to face the thing. And that might be because we feel it's going to be too painful, too difficult, it's going to take too long, I'm just not ready for it. These cards are saying that you are. As I say, with any of these cards, if anything has come up and it does feel too big, absolutely do get yourself support in whatever way, shape, or form that you need that support. And as I say, if you're not sure, please reach out. We can have a conversation and I can guide you. So they're the 3 cards. The other theme that I get with these, just a kind of like little theme thread, is the moons. You've got the moons or the circles. So you've got the circle and the unconscious projections here. You've got the big moon with the clock on the self-sabotage card, and you've got the moon behind the lady on the swing. So you've got these kind of like circles, discs, shining the light on what is ready to be looked at. So that's also another acknowledgement that is coming through here. So we want soul alignment. Soul alignment is available for us this week. And the easiest way to get your soul alignment is to acknowledge the cards and whatever these bits and pieces are, and they may not be very big, be tiny little things that are just popping up, ready to be released in the eclipse season. But the main theme of the soul alignment card is freedom and adventure. So that is what you're going to receive, experience, create when you look at the resistance, look at the triggers, look at the bits and pieces that pop up this week. You are stepping into soul alignment that brings freedom and adventure. It brings movement, it brings expansion, it brings different perspectives. And the word that I really was drawn to was the soul alignment comes through adventure. So how can you factor in an adventure this week? And you might be thinking, well, I'm not going to book a trip to somewhere exotic and get on a plane and go on this big adventure. Adventures can come in all shapes and sizes, and an adventure might be just taking a walk to somewhere on a different route, a route that you wouldn't normally do. That's an adventure. Maybe trying new foods. This is me being adventurous. Trying new foods that I wouldn't normally eat. That feels quite adventurous for me. That does push me out my comfort zone. But you can have adventures in all sorts of shapes and forms. Go out on a Tuesday night when you wouldn't normally go out on a Tuesday night. Join a class or go to the cinema on your own. Have an adventure. Just do something out of the ordinary that is going to bring this element of adventure, the unexpected, playfulness, curiosity, because that's your soul alignment for this week. And I think for me, it's a beautiful way to also navigate the energies of these cards as well. But moving through these cards also brings the freedom and the adventure. So let me know how the cards resonate. I would love to hear. Let me know if you guessed what the common thread was between the three cards, which was about the face being completely hidden or facing downwards. So it's about not wanting to actually face the thing that we need to face and we are ready to face, because these cards would not have come up otherwise. So Akashic Oracle card deck, the modality in a box, they're the cards that I've used. Don't forget the certification starts on Thursday live. Of course, you can do the certification at your own pace as well, but we do start the first live call on Thursday. So have a beautiful week. Keep me updated. Enjoy the 1010 portal. It is going to be beautiful. So definitely use the energies of that day to set your stall out for the remainder of the year. And yeah, have a beautiful week. Let me know how you get on. Love and blessings, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.